Welcome to the Sparky Life. I'm your host, Leah Lamella. I am here to create the sparks in your life.
And here we discuss the builders of our civilization. All things construction career oriented.
Every Thursday. Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Today's Sparky Life episode is about elevators and fire safety, the code that saves lives. When a fire breaks out in a high-rise, what's the first thing you should not do?
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
That's right. Take the elevator. Don't do that. But do you know why? Modern day fire alarm systems actually take control of elevators during a fire. This is called elevator recall.
Clever girl.
And it's one of the most important fire safety systems in a building. So why was it invented? How does it work? And why do fire alarm techs and elevator mechanics need to work together to make sure it functions properly? It functions properly. We're diving deep into the life-saving technology behind elevator recall and salaries in the industry and how to stay safe in a fire.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? A fire has been reported in the building.
For my Sparky Life OG listeners, you already know about your sister Sparky, but for those of you who are new here, I'm a licensed electrician who specializes in commercial fire alarm installation and NFPA 72 inspection. Sparky Life Podcast has new episodes for you every Thursday morning, and our YouTube segments will be released every Saturday morning moving forward.
Saturday.
So check it out. Speaking of checking things out, before we begin, let's take a quick break to hear from our incredible sponsor, Supply House. Calling all electricians, SupplyHouse.com's Trademaster program is completely free and gives you access to free shipping, full order discounts, and more. You can learn more at supplyhouse.com/T-M. Become a trade master like me. Now let's get back to the show. Okay, now let's jump into it. The disaster that created elevator recall. That's right. Elevator recall did not exist when elevators were invented. Oh no. To understand why elevator recall exists, we need to go back to one of the worst hotel fires in U.S. history. Yes, unfortunately, we aren't very proactive. However, we're very reactive. Something we need to work on. The MGM Grand Fire in 1980 in Las Vegas. What happened? A fire broke out in the MGM Grand Hotel, rapidly engulfing corridors and rooms with flames and thick, toxic smoke. Over 85 people died. Many of them, they took elevators straight into smoke-filled rooms instead of using stair exits. This tragedy underscored the fact that elevators, rather than serving as a safe escape route, could funnel people directly into danger. In a typical fire, flames can double in size every 30 seconds, and a flash over, it's just like a critical moment when nearly all combustible materials in the room ignite all at once. Think of the movie Backdraft. Can occur in as little as 3 to 5 minutes. I know from personal experience how fast a fire can spread. Let me just say that it is far more intense than the movies, and the movies can make it pretty intense. Equally alarming is smoke inhalation. Smoke inhalation is responsible for up to 80 to 90% of fire-related deaths, making rapid evacuation absolutely critical. Elevators do not protect you from the fire. They can actually become death traps if they open on a burning floor. That's why the elevator recall system was designed to intervene immediately in the event of a fire. How does elevator recall work in fire alarm systems? So what exactly is it? Let's break this down into phases. A fire starts somewhere in a high-rise building. Phase 1, automatic recall. When smoke is detected near the elevator, typically by sensors in the elevator lobby, shaft, or machine room, the fire alarm system sends a signal to the elevator control panel. The elevator is programmed to return to a designated safe floor, usually the lobby, where firefighters can assume control. The doors are kept open so that no one gets trapped inside, preventing inadvertent exposure to rising heat and toxic smoke. Phase 2. Firefighters can then override the system using a special firefighter key to control the elevator manually. This allows them to safely reach occupants who might be stranded or to move the elevator to floors that need immediate attention, all while keeping occupants out of harm's way. This system is designed to prevent you from unknowingly entering the elevator that might open onto a burning floor, giving control to the professionals trained to manage these types of emergencies. Who's responsible for making sure the system works? It's elevator mechanics and fire alarm technicians working together. Here's something most people do not realize. Fire alarm technicians and elevator mechanics have to work together to test and maintain elevator recall systems. But why is this collaboration so crucial? Let's take a quick break to hear from our amazing sponsor, Supply House. I don't know about you, but I hate shopping. As a businesswoman, my time is very valuable, just like your time is very valuable. And how I choose to spend it is imperative. But if I need to shop for supplies, and sometimes I do, I just want to check in and check out. Supplyhouse.com is a total shortcut for parts shopping. You don't have to drive anywhere and try to fit it into your schedule. Just visit their website and order anytime. Super easy. They're like the Amazon for the construction community. They have thousands of electrical parts from all the leading brands. Wiring, low voltage, industrial, you name it, they got it. The deliveries are fast. I love it. And I know you will too. Plus, their customer service is outstanding. You talk to real people, like humans, no AI bot nonsense. Everyone there is friendly and knowledgeable. So if you want fast, efficient, quality parts, use supplyhouse.com. Order the parts the easy way and get them delivered right to your door at supplyhouse.com. Now, let's get back to the show. Elevator mechanics. Let's talk about what they handle first, okay? Because there's two pieces to the puzzle here. Elevator mechanics are responsible for programming the elevator's response to fire alarms, ensuring all recall functions meet the latest fire code requirements, troubleshooting motorized doors, power failures, and manual override systems. Fire alarm technicians handle installation and maintaining of the smoke detectors in strategic locations, as well as heat detectors, programming fire panels to communicate seamlessly with elevator systems, conducting routine tests to confirm that the alarm triggers the recall sequence correctly. If these two teams don't work together, the system could fail during an emergency, and that's a disaster waiting to happen. Their cooperation ensures that every component of the recall system works intended when every second counts. And in a fire, I can't stress that enough, every second counts. Now let's talk about something more fun, like money. How much do elevator mechanics make? If you're considering a career in this field, let's talk numbers, because both fire alarm techs and elevator mechanics get paid really well for their expertise. Elevator mechanic salary at entry level is $50,000 to $65,000 per year. Experienced, 5 years or more, is $80,000 to $100,000 per year, and union and specialized mechanics in major cities like New York City, LA, Chicago make $120,000 plus per year with overtime and benefits. Fire alarm technicians' salary entry level is around $40,000 to $60,000 per year. Certified and experienced technicians, $70,000 to $100,000 per year. These are competitive salaries, often exceeding those of many college-based careers, especially when you factor in the high demand for safety and reliability in modern high-rise buildings. Let's not forget about COVID and what happened to many people's careers during that time. Life safety is something that's never going to go away. Always going to need it. Let me give you some tips of what to do regarding elevator safety during a fire. Okay? So this is what I would consider the most crucial part. What you should do if you're ever in a fire in a high-rise building. Elevator safety guidelines are as follows. Number 1, never use an elevator during a fire. If you're in an elevator, when the alarm sounds, exit immediately once the doors open on a designated recall floor. Number 2, use the stairs. Know your building's emergency stairwells and use them for evacuation. And real quick, I want to rewind to the first one because some of you might be asking, well, wait a minute. If I'm in the elevator and the doors are just going to randomly open, what if they open on a floor that's filled with smoke and fire?
I believe this is your floor.
Well, the way that the system is set up is that depending on which alarm devices are activated, it's predetermined where the elevator will recall to. So it's set up to recall, meaning the elevator will go to a floor where there's no indication that there's smoke or heat or fire. So that is set up prior. That's why it's so important to test these designs in order to ensure that they're operating properly. But regardless, you should always take the stair. Stay low. Smoke rises, and the lower you are to the ground, the better you can breathe. Most people would think alert emergency services would be like the first thing you should do, but no, the first thing you should do is to get yourself somewhere safe. That's priority number 1. The last thing you do, once you're out of the building and already in a safe place, then you alert emergency services. Only if you're trapped, meaning you can't go anywhere, there's nowhere you can go, you're trapped, should you call 911, meaning alert emergency services right away. And if possible, signal for help through a window or a door. Remember, while elevator recall systems are a critical safety net, the best way to stay safe is to avoid using elevators in a fire altogether. Your quick thinking and adherence to safety protocols can make all the difference. That's a wrap on the NFPA 72 code requirements in chapter 21.3, sections 21.3.14 and 21.3.14.1, focusing on phase 1 emergency recall operation and ensuring elevators are safely recalled to designated levels during a fire. Now you know. Now you know why the system exists, how it works, and why collaboration between elevator mechanics and fire alarm technicians is so essential. This is why when I say on Sparky Life, We talk to skilled tradesmen and women who make our lives work. I mean it quite literally. Remember those sobering statistics that fires can spread incredibly fast with flames doubling every 30 seconds and smoke inhalation being responsible for up to 90% of fire fatalities. Every second really matters during an emergency. If you found this episode fiery, I can't help myself. If you're all fired up, share it with friends and colleagues. And if you want to hear more about technologies and construction career paths that keep our buildings and us safe, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, fire alarm below. And until next time, stay safe and create the sparks in your life. Not the ones that cause fires though. Like, metaphorically speaking here.
The Sparky Life. Don't forget to subscribe.
Create the spark in your life.